Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tell. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today on Magical Theory, we are going to be talking about fairies. Now, fairies are a specific type of fae being, and all fae beings are beings that are energetic in nature who eventually evolved over time to be able to manifest on the physical plane before the veil then thickened and returned them back to a state much like a spirit, although they are actually much different in nature than, say, a ghost or other astral being. Okay, now, as I said, today we're going to focus on fairies in particular. Fairies feed on energy, and they tend to enjoy the happy emotions, especially joy, love, play. Children's imaginings are one of the most favorite things for them to exist on. Now, when you're working with fairies, you do need to take into consideration their nature. You wouldn't want to say send a fairy to try and terrify someone or curse someone. That's not something you're going to be interested in. Now, if you want to protect a child, perhaps use glamour magics or even cast a love spell, if it's not one that is of a particularly insidious nature, fairies are a great way to work. When you want to contact a fairy, you can go to a crossroads, as you can for most fae beings, but you're more apt to either try a playground or else a rose bushes or any other type of briars and brambles that have flowers. Like wild rose bushes are especially good. The ones that are big and grown up wild, there's going to be some fae in there. And when you want to contact them, the first thing that you will do is arrive at bramble or briar patch with a little bit of milk and honey, and offer them the milk and honey and simply say that you wish to make friends. There are traditional ways of phrasing this as you go up to what would traditionally be a hawthorn bush, but these things aren't necessary. Fae and fairies, especially fairies anyways, are not real hung up on tradition. They just want the idea that you actually want to be friends. You have to come up with sincere intent with the milk and honey and say, hey, I want to be your friend. I would like to start working with you. Leave a little bit of milk and honey at the bramble bush, and then think of where you live. You don't have to state your address out loud or anything like that. Just think of your home and go home. And then the next time that you want to work with them, you would then leave a little bit of milk and honey on your altar and call to them same fairies and say, I've left you a little milk and honey here to work with you. You know, go out, make my hair look shining and radiant for this bit of milk and honey in a thimble. Stuff like that. Okay, so, as I said, so we've covered what they are, how they work with, and what they are, how to work with them, even how to contact them. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things you don't want to do with a fairy. Now, like I said, you don't want to send it out to do things it's not going to be interested in. You're not going to get a fairy to go out and be bloodthirsty and try to hurt someone. That's just not in their nature. You might get them to tie somebody's shoes, tie their shoelaces, trip on something like that, but they're not good for malicious work. You should never try to trap a fairy or be cruel to one in any way, because first of all, you'll never be able to work with them again. One mistake with a fairy and they leave. There's no talking them back into anything once they're gone. But also, if you do something where the fairy has been trapped, others will come to save that fairy, and it's going to cause all kind of mischief and mayhem in your life. Like I said, tying shoes is something they love to do. They love to tie your shoes together or mess up your hair, but it can get much worse than that if they're not able to get the fairy. If they're not able to get their friend, they've been known to cause car accidents, trick people falling down the stairs, trick people into walking off of cliffs. You just don't trap one. Don't treat them cruelly. Don't even speak to them cruelly. You always want to speak to a fairy as if you were speaking to a very sweet child. They have that same kind of mind frame. They can be very intelligent. You don't want to underestimate their intelligence, but I'm talking about their mindset. They have the mindset of a child. They want to have fun. They want to play. They want everything to be happy. Okay, So that'll be it for this episode of Magical Theory. Don't forget to join us on Friday where I will be doing a demonstration on how to work with the fairies once you have brought them into your home after you've made the first offering at the bramble. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please take the opportunity to do so now. Until then, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tal.